Smith. This is Ross Crean. And over here, we've got Daniel Johansson. Oh, wait.
You go with the stand and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm Ross again.
Wait, hold on. Let me get you from my angle.
Okay.
So you can see what you look like from my angle.
So we are,
So she's got the whole little tripod and everything.
all right. It's a little condescending.
I'm not that condescending.
It's a little condescending.
Just a little.
Just
Slight. Like a slight hair of condescension.
Okay. So we are organizing the Scabi Magazine 24-hour concert, and we're gonna vlog it.
Get used to our faces.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you're gonna love it.
So the conceit of this event is that composers and performers come together on Friday night at 7 p.m. Composers draw their ensembles at random. They have 12 hours to write for those people, and then the performers have 12 hours to learn and rehearse those pieces, and the performance is that night. So
It's gonna be stellar.
yeah, the name draw is in a couple hours, and we're really excited.
We're counting down and it's happening soon.
Ah! There's the drone. There's the drone. Don't freak out the kids, please.
Hey. Hello. We're coming to join the Grafskins.
Nice. Oh, cool. Here, Tom.
Hey,
I got a
Daniel.
video of you eating earlier.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I hope you treasured that.
Is that you? Is it on you?
It is.
Okay, good. How are you? Development. Hey Tom.
Hey.
We're in the building. We are not in the sanctuary. We're gonna be. Tom, you're in it, huh? What are we doing?
We're about to start.
We're about to start. We're gonna. Yeah. So we are not in the sanctuary, but we're in this kind of like creepy children's classroom. There's a greenery in there.
Creepy children not included that we know of.
Grace.
Yep. Awesome. Katie. Oh, she will be here in like 10 minutes. Awesome. Wrong side.
Oh, Gail.
Woo!
Cool.
Jules. I know a lot of work with you, dude.
And then, do you want a second person?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then so then there's one last name in the cup. Who would like a second person?
Is this to write for a second person?
This is to write for a second person. Awesome. Now, whose name did not get called? You? Okay. So then, all right, who has one name? There you go. All right.
I mean, I've done this before. Sorry. Here we go.
Cool. Checking in. I'm not gonna do this a lot, but I just.
Is going to be the life cycle of the mayfly, which is only 24 hours.
Who's your composer?
Dorian.
Really?
Yeah, Dorian.
And it's going to be him and Jules.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's going to be in French.
That's so clever.
Yes.
That's.
I mean, wait, you're fine. But if you need any help pronouncing anything,
I mean, definitely like
Thank y'all for helping with handing out waters.
Quality water content.
I can't. I'm saying we have composers who, within the hour, have already have a set direction on what they want to do. They know the text material already. I'm glad that the preparation is already like starting well ahead of time. Because especially with an event like this, you have to know what you're doing ahead of time.
Do you think we're going to be getting a lot of 7:30 emails?
Yes, and I expect that too. I might get a lot of texts throughout the night tonight, which is fine. I think expecting the unexpected is kind of something you have to have with this, otherwise you're so screwed.
Feeling good. Yeah, everyone seems happy. I'm worried that I'm worried about getting back into the church tomorrow.
That's fair. I mean, so are you worried about anything with the performers?
No, I think the performers are going to be great.
Are you worried about anything with the composers?
No, I think the composers are going to be great.
Are you worried anything about the logistics?
The logistics, I'm very worried.
What are some interesting things you've heard from the performers and composers so far?
Well,
There's a baby thing.
I've kind of heard I've gone around and like heard the different ways that the composers are going to be communicating the pieces to the performers. For example, one of the pairings, the composer is kind of more singer-songwriter, and so what he's going to do is he's going to record the piece and send it to the singer, and she's going to learn it by ear, and then the composer is going to accompany her. In another case, the composer is going to send drafts throughout the night, and the performers are going to give feedback and then kind of workshop it over the course of the entire 24 hours as more of a collaborative effort.
Cool.
And then in some cases, the composer is going to work through the night, drop it at 7, performer is going to work on it throughout the day, and then perform it. So like it's what I find so interesting about all this is like the different processes.
So Gail and I really got to connect on things that we feel really passionate about. So it has to do with storytelling, and it has to do with just really being introspective and taking some of the things that we have felt and experienced before and really putting that in a format that is compelling and doing it and having fun. And that's half the reason why being a cover is actually really cool, because if you get called on, it's like, whatever, I'm a cover, I'm just going to do my best. Yeah. And there's so much less pressure to be amazing. Yeah. So like you have fun, you really collaborate that way, and you do.
And at the same time, a lot with that too is there's things about technique that can get unlocked because you're under the pressure. You're not focusing on actually like, what kind of technique am I going to have for this? How's my breathing? Where's my air pressure? Where's my focus all centered? And I know vocalists that had no interest in contemporary music until they were doing an event like this, and some didn't even know. We had a woman who was in the Hartford one who didn't even realize that she could do multiphonics until she like.
That's amazing.
She was like, and all of a sudden like she did, she was like, I'm gonna try that, and they did, and then the composer was like, oh, can I change that with the piano too, and we'll see if we can do more of that, and they did.
All right, so we're back home. That was a little stressful. Not everyone showed up, but what's awesome is that everybody like totally stepped up. Like the people who were there were like super down to participate in multiple capacities, and like, so, you know, as you heard earlier, like some of these pieces are going to be really, really cool. So yeah, we're super, super excited. Day 2, we're about to head back to the church. I have confirmation that we're going to be let in this morning. There are my logistics concerns being assuaged, thankfully. I think we're going to stop by like Dunkin' Donuts and pick up like a carafe of coffee or something like that. I'm very excited. I think today's going to be really, really cool. Hey Daniel, what are you doing?
Using sandwich. Grilled cheese sandwich.
Maybe that stays. If it doesn't, I'll catch you.
Watching YouTube.
Jenna Marbles.
We've been at home pretty much all day taking care of stuff. Jenna's been
Look at your body.
hanging out. I realized that today.
This is for the scouting vlog.
That any sort of anything with a weight to get
So just tell me, like, you know, tell me the premise, tell me how it went last night. How are you feeling? Day 2.
Day 2, feeling pretty good. Should I be looking in the camera or like...
Live your best life, you know? Follow your instincts.
All right, I'll explain directly to the camera. So the concept for the piece is the like lifespan of the mayfly, which is an insect which lives for about 24 hours. It's called imago because imago is the 3rd phase of the mayfly's lifespan. It goes through the nymph, the subimago, and the imago phase. And the piece is kind of structured like that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Nice. Can't wait.
I'm Jules Cunningham.
And I'm Grace Mangle.
And do you have a title for your piece?
Yeah, it's called The Song of the Worm Bear.
Awesome. All right, let's hear a little bit of it.
Okay.
It actually went pretty fast for me. I got most of it done by 1 a.m. The main issue was I had drunk so much coffee that I couldn't really sleep at that point. And also, my little brother is also writing a piece, and I had to be, I'm the guitarist for his piece, so I kept getting interrupted by him being like, yo, can you do this really weird thing? And I was like, yeah, but not fast. He's like, yeah, but I'm making you do it fast.
So Grace, tell me a little bit about your experience from this morning on.
Well, I actually received the piece last night because Jules had he recorded it. So I learned it all from a recording that he just sent me on the phone. It was unusual learning from a recording, and it's unusual doing like a poppy kind of song because I'm used to classical, but super fun, so.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Jordan Rallo.
What voice type?
Oh, I'm a soprano.
Soprano? Can you tell me a little bit about your experience so far? Did you sleep last night?
I did. I slept nice and fine. We got music at 6:30 this morning, so I got to warming up around 7:30. Probably my neighbors were a little upset, but it has been a good morning and good early afternoon so far.
Nice. So can you introduce yourself to us too?
I'm Eric Wang. I'm a violinist. My experience has been pretty fun so far. Like Jordan said, we got the music at like 6:30. I looked over it, practiced a little bit. Hopefully I didn't bother my neighbors too much.
And who's the composer of your piece?
Natalie Hope Finnemore?
It's a great experience to just be able to interact with the composer and like go up and like ask them like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Oh, you ruined it. Oh, hey.
Oh, is that a camera?
My name is Thomas Bailey. I am a tenor here in Chicago, singing all around the city. So far, my experience with this has been really positive. Like, I got the music super early, and you know, it's a really cool story.
What's it about?
It's about the life cycle of a mayfly. Mayflies, which are they live for about 24 hours, which is on theme, and it's a French description of the 3 stages of the life cycle, and the last cycle is called imago, which is the name of the piece.
My name is Dorian Cunningham. I'm a composer. So far, my experience with this has been awesome. It's always helpful to have deadlines, I think, and this was an experience in having the craziest, most severe deadline I've ever had to face, and it was just fantastic.
He followed me onto the tree, and my skirt wasn't even that short.
Damn.
My name is Meg Huskin. I am participating as a composer, and I'm working with Robin and Hillary to create a soprano flute duet. This has really been inspired by just a collection of our own experiences and talking with these ladies. We crafted the text for this piece literally based on things that people have said to us or things that we felt. It was so wonderful to kind of come together in this collaboration. My process for writing this piece was basically after talking with them, I just sat and wrote and tried to be as focused as possible until 3:30 in the morning, I think is when I finally shut off my computer.
My name is Hillary Escada. I'm a soprano. I am working with Meg and Robin and on this piece Coyote, which I can say that I inspired the Coyote part because I saw Coyote on the way to rehearsal, so we were talking about that, and I think this is something that's really relatable and apt at this time just because there's a lot going on in the music world in particular as well. You know, sort of women's movement and dealing with harassment and facing harassers, and this really focuses on that and comes from our own stories, and so it feels very personal. It's kind of really neat to work on something that close to you.
My name is Robin Maxons. I'm a flutist and working with these two, and I think it's been because it comes from our stories, it's been easier to I've never worked with Hillary before, and we're in the process of figuring out what we're doing together, but because the sentiment is there and it came from both of us to begin with, it's a lot easier to put it together in full. It's always different, and that's what the fun of these things is, that you're working with people that you've never worked with in a very, very short time, so you don't really have the chance to, in a normal collaboration, you can get to know each other's voices and really put it together a lot more stably, whereas in this case it's kind of, you have 12 hours, figure it out.
Could also look at, oh my god. I need to.
Ross is handing out great gut pants.
I'm actually working on. Once I'm actually.
I'm like
working on that
Santa,
piece,
but with
Kat
opera.
It'll be easier. So better Santa. That's what I always want.
Oh, better Santa. She said it, not me.
Amanda's here.
Hi. But. I'm here. Do I do this?
Here's my face. The only face that matters. The sweatiest face.
Hi, my name is Katie Belletti. I am a vocalist with the 24-hour concert project, and I'll be singing a piece for piano and vocals with Gail Gallagher.
Nice. So, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience so far? Did you get to sleep tonight?
Yes, I have the lucky job of just coming in and singing. Gail composed this really cool piece, and we were texting about it all night, and she was sending me clips. And when she sent it to me first, she's like, listen, I hope this is cool. The aesthetic is kind of like Disney princess power rock ballad. And I was like, you nailed my aesthetic perfectly. It was this really cool experience of like talking about what we had been through and like what was kind of important moments for us. And we really connected on this one kind of trudging year for both of us. And she managed to create this like real power piece that is very musical theater, very Disney rock is very accurate, of finding that strength and finding what that does to you. And we really connect in it, and we even have like a moment that we built in for us to connect there. So it's gonna be a cool piece.
How about your experience? This is your first time doing an event like this, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's the funny thing because not only is this a 24-hour concert for all of us, but I also got notice that I would be participating like less than 24 hours ago. So it was kind of all of it. And it's been so cool. I think the performers so rarely get a chance to be in the front line and like creating something. So often it's like, yeah, great, go sing your Handel, go sing your Mozart, go sing, these things that you get to interpret and have something with, but you never get to be in that process and creating something and making something that is for you and for this person you're performing with. And that is such a cool thing to do. And also, honestly, way low pressure, because you walk in, you talk to your composer, be like, hey, let's try this. And I got to come in today and rehearse, and just after, looking through this morning, and we're already pretty much performance ready. It's like having that kind of fly by their seat your pants, create something cool, and go with it is a really liberating experience.
They're like, I'll follow.
Yeah, I think I should just give you chords and then just let you like.
Up to you, like
this space too.
Yeah, totally. And there's, I'm just syncopating things the way that you did. If that's
Exactly.
cool,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah.
You're feigning confidence in your French? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good tempo to have.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is David Flowers, and I'm a composer for the 24-hour concert.
How was your experience? Is this your first event doing this? Your first time doing this?
24-hour concert, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how your night transpired.
Night was a bit rough. I like worked and then slept for a little bit, and then worked and then slept for a little bit, and just broke it up that way. And OD'd on coffee a little bit.
Nice. Do you want to tell us about the piece?
The piece is fitting with the theme. It's about insomnia. Specifically, it's about anxiety-induced insomnia. So there's a lot of quick patter about racing thoughts, and the music underneath is sort of disjunct and, for lack of a better term, schizophrenic.
So how are you enjoying this so far?
It's been I'm a really slow composer normally. I take a lot of time to write music, so it was a fun challenge to try and crank out so much music within a short period of time. And it made me, like, I had to make my decisions a lot quicker and throw a lot of ideas, leave a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor just to get the piece cranked out, which was a change of pace, so it was kind of nice.
That's it, great. Now let's go back to Katya's without. So you're going to be our pickup without. Let's get those 16s together, because that's like pseudo bro up there.
Hi, I'm Natalie Finnemore, and I'm composing and performing today at the event. I composed a piece called Stumble, which is kind of a modern classical piece, and then I'm performing Insomnia.
And you want to tell us a little? Yes. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience as a composer throughout the night, and then as a performer today?
Yeah. So I'm a baby. I'm probably the baby of being here. So I kind of came into this going like, oh geez, I'm going to do this for the first time. But yeah, I stayed up late, but I knew that the time constraint was already going to be challenging, so I tried to stay in my like composing comfort zone a little bit, so I would be able to like put forth a product that the performers would be able to use, and I just like knew that, so I wasn't coming in here with like this incomprehensible piece of paper that I was like, here, do this. And yeah, so I was really happy that I actually got something done, and I gave it to the performers, and they seemed to be having a good time with it. So I was like, yes, okay, I got that right. And then performing, I realized that it's been a while since I performed someone else's music instead of just working on my own. So that's been really fun, like getting back into the swing of like sight reading someone else's music and like working with someone else to execute that. So that's been really cool too. Stressful, but cool.
Okay, why don't you introduce yourself?
Awesome. I'm Gail Gallagher. I composed a piece called Reborn, which is sort of a Disney-esque piano rock thing. And then I am singing in a piece called Drowning and Surfacing, and that is a Baroque adventure. And yeah.
Nice. So give us the composer side of this experience so far. How about last night?
I'm really tired, but no, it was pretty great. I was nervous as to what I was going to be assigned. I primarily write for sketch and improv and musical theater, and so I was very happy that I got assigned a vocalist, and it was cool like getting to know Katie and her strengths, and like I asked her what her dream roles were, and we have the same dream role, and that was really cool, and talked about different themes that we liked, and so it was like, cool, we're on the same page. I'm gonna write stuff I would normally write for myself, but I'm gonna write it for you, and you are classically trained, and this is amazing. And then I was home alone, and because my fiance went over to a friend's place because he knew I needed to be in the zone, and I was able to like text her the first chorus and be like, this is so cool. So the creation process is my favorite. The part where I have to sit down and like make the sheet music is not my favorite, and that happened until like 1 a.m. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up at 4, and I finished stuff, and yeah, and then I went back to sleep, and I taught, and I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Katya Lysander. I'm a mezzo, and I don't usually sing this kind of music. I sing with a Georgian group called Alioni. We do folk polyphony most of the time.
Nice.
So this is totally different for me. I really love collaborating with people, and I love new projects. I love starting projects. I've actually never worked with a composer so closely before. Well, Mike O'Mara, who's writing the piece that I'm performing, and I had a really great conversation last night, and he was just so open and really wanted my feedback and wanted my input, and you know, we tossed around some metaphors and some ideas, and Gail was talking about going through a grief anniversary this weekend, so we had that theme of grief, and I brought up the image of, you know, sailing towards a lighthouse and crashing on the rocks as sort of a metaphor for how we can experience grief. And Mike just took that and ran with it. Like, I can't believe what he's produced.
Everyone's met their deadlines, which is really great. I'm really impressed by how everyone's really kind of meeting their limitations and their timelines. So,
well, I was definitely like up on time. I was awake. I was ready to receive music. I was excited for what I was getting.
why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Mike O'Mara, and I am both a composer and a performer on this concert.
And what pieces are you composing?
I composed a kind of a neo-Baroque duet for two mezzo-sopranos that we're calling Drowning Surfacing. And I'm playing a piece, it's called Insomnia. Oh boy, it was fueled by caffeine and desperation, but it's a fun experience. It was a fun challenge, and I'm really proud with how the piece came together. I was exceptionally pleased with the discussion I had with the two singers that I'm writing for. We had a really good kind of like quick workshop last night, and that really kind of set me on my path. So it was great. It was a great meeting.
Tell us about then the piece you received this morning.
To play the piece this morning, I like it because I'm a big fan of minimalism, as long as it's done well. And I think that this piece has really cool little parts to play with, and I look forward to each little kind of motive coming back. So it's fun to play.
All right, so it's got a fan on behind me, so that's disrupting. It's like 5 now, so it's the time between the rehearsals and the performance. So we'll have the performance at 7. I'm down here kind of just like getting the first 2 acts of the video done. I want to have this video up like at the end of the night, which is exciting to me because that'll be really easy to share. See if that happens. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep editing it down, because so far it's 30 minutes. We'll see.
Singing song of joy between the stars.
very similar to the one we had today, and starting tonight. And the challenge is we have people who have really never worked together before, team up, decide what they're going to create, start creating, finish, give, learn, and perform within 24 hours. And we've had some very interesting things.
Yeah, I'm really very excited. My experience with 24-hour concerts was I participated in several when I was in college, and I had the absolute time of my life. My favorite part of it, honestly, was how hodgepodge the ensembles could be. In my experience, I've performed in ensembles of 2 sopranos and bassoon, and a soprano with clarinet and saxophone. Weird ensembles, and so all of our composers chose our ensembles randomly, wrote for 12
I've always been very inspired by nature in my compositions, so immediately when I heard about this concert, I thought of the mayfly, which is a fly which has a 24-hour lifespan. And so this song kind of channels the mayfly. It follows its sort of life through its various molts and stuff. And yeah, the words are taken from the French Wikipedia page on the mayfly. Please enjoy. Oh, also, I should say, I got a little bit too ambitious with some of the extended technique stuff on the guitar, so I'll be helping out with that because it can't be played by one person.
beauty of experience while also kind of mourning the loss of experience through time.
This piece is actually about my experience as I started my music career. I was very bad at managing my own health, and so I would try to go to sleep, but I would have work and lessons that I had taught, rehearsals that I had led running through my head, and I would suffer bouts of insomnia during times of peak stress. And I never got around to writing a piece that I thought was about it, so this was my fun little exercise.
falling apart, but then you also like come out stronger and more awesome. So you don't know if you're breaking down or you're breaking through.
Discussion last evening. So Katya and Gil and I were talking about what we might want to write about, and we hit upon the subject of grief. And so what I decided to do was write a story from two different sides of the same person. And so this is reflected in the lyrics, which they don't go perfectly backwards the other way, but basically the first part of the lyrics go one way and take our character from the first moment of loss of someone into kind of the depths of sadness, and then where the second part of the I'll call it an aria picks up, it starts at that emotion and gets us hopefully to hope at the end. Katya told me, so I asked them both, like, what do you like musically? What do you dig? And Katya's like, well, I'm doing a lot of Monteverdi right now. And now she's probably regretting that because I gave her a lot of Monteverdi-esque
story was after this happened, she saw a coyote in a children's playground, and that sort of became a symbol of all of this and became kind of the central metaphor of the piece. So, enjoy.
He followed me onto the train. He followed me. Shit. He followed me onto the train, and my skirt wasn't even that short. What if he's intoxicated? He informs me that he's gonna marry me. He pushes my shoulder and I don't know what to do.
So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for thank you to all the people who participated, who were composers, performers. Thank you to everybody who attended the event, and thank you for watching. Like, wow, you just watched a 45-minute documentary. That's pat yourself on the back. Like, don't do anything else today. That's a lot. Yeah, just, thank you to everyone who made this possible. Thank you to Emmanuel Lutheran. Thank you to Daniel for his support. Thank you to Ross for their expertise. It's just been, it's been great. If you want to see more of what we're up to, you can head to scopymag.com. That's where we post all of our articles and podcasts. And if you're interested in becoming a member or in supporting any other future endeavor that we do, go to scopymag.com/subscribe. Go out and make something.